She married me for love, or so I thought. But when I discovered her secret, I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I stayed silent, and my silence destroyed everything she had ever wanted. My name is Daniel Hayes. I'm 42 years old, a financial advisor, born and raised in San Diego, California. For most of my life, I've worked hard, quietly, steadily, without ever asking much for myself. My father was a veteran, my mother a school teacher. They taught me that family and loyalty were everything, and I carried those lessons into my adult life. When I first met Samantha 5 years ago, I thought she was the woman I had been waiting for. She was dazzling, beautiful in a way that turned heads when she walked into a room. She had this laugh that filled the air like champagne bubbles, effortless, intoxicating. And for a man like me, who had always been practical, grounded, maybe even a little boring, her energy was like fire. I met her at a charity gala in Los Angeles. She was standing near the Champagne Tower in a red dress that seemed too expensive for someone who claimed to be between jobs. But I didn't question it. I was smitten. We talked all night, and by the end of the evening, she gave me her number. It didn't take long for her to pull me into her world. We were having rooftop dinners, weekends in Malibu, nights at trendy clubs where everyone seemed to know her name. She told me she loved my stability, that I was different from the boys she usually met. For once, she said, she wanted something real. I believed her. Within a year, we were married. I bought us a home in Beverly Hills, a modern glass mansion on a hill overlooking the city. I didn't mind spending money. After all, I was comfortable, successful, and if my wife wanted the best, why shouldn't I give it to her? That's what love meant to me, at least that's what I thought. It started small. She wanted designer clothes, handbags, jewelry. Every woman needs a little sparkle, she would say, flashing her smile. Then came the luxury cars, first a Porsche, then a Bentley. I told myself I could afford it. I told myself her happiness was worth it. But the truth was, Samantha wasn't happy. Not really. She was hungry. Always hungry. For more. For bigger. For shinier things. And the more I gave, the more I started to see the cracks in her smile. The turning point came one afternoon, about 2 years into our marriage. I had come home early from work. The house was quiet, but her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. I wouldn't have looked. I'm not the kind of man who snoops. But the name flashing on the screen made my stomach drop. Ryan. Ryan was her personal trainer, a man I had hired for her because she claimed she wanted to stay fit. I picked up the phone. The message preview showed just enough. I can't wait for tonight. Wear the black dress. You know the one. My chest tightened. My hands felt numb. But I didn't explode. I didn't storm into the gym or scream or throw things. Instead, I set the phone back down exactly where I found it. And I waited. That night, she came home late, smelling of expensive cologne that wasn't mine. She kissed me on the cheek, murmured something about drinks with friends, and slipped upstairs without meeting my eyes. I knew then. Samantha hadn't married me for love. She had married me for the house, the cars, the lifestyle. And now, she was entertaining her trainer on the side, enjoying the best of both worlds. Most men would have confronted her. Some would have divorced her on the spot. But me? I played the long game. Because if Samantha wanted luxury, I was going to show her what it felt like to lose it all. For months, I pretended nothing had changed. I bought her gifts, took her on vacations, smiled at dinner parties. All the while, I was quietly preparing. I restructured my accounts, moved assets into trusts she couldn't touch, and sold off investments she didn't even know existed. I documented everything, her late nights, her unexplained charges, her messages with Ryan. My attorney assured me that California's courts would see it for what it was. Betrayal. The hardest part was acting normal. Every time she smiled at me with that fake sparkle in her eyes, every time she touched my arm in public like we were the perfect couple, I wanted to tell her I knew. But silence is stronger than rage. Silence cuts deeper. The day of reckoning came on our anniversary. I had planned a weekend in Napa Valley, just the two of us. She was thrilled. She packed her designer dresses, her diamond earrings, her new heels. She thought it was another trip to celebrate our perfect marriage. But when we arrived at the villa, instead of champagne and roses, I handed her a folder. Inside were printouts of her messages with Ryan, bank statements showing her secret withdrawals, photos I had taken of her slipping into hotels when she claimed to be shopping. She went pale. "Daniel," she stammered, "this isn't what it looks like." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I just slid the divorce papers across the table. "You wanted a rich husband," I said quietly. "Congratulations, you had one, but now you have nothing." She tried to cry, to beg, to cling to me. She said she loved me, that Ryan meant nothing, that she could change, but it was too late. The next week I filed for divorce, and here's the thing about gold diggers. They don't dig for love, they dig for treasure. But when the treasure runs out, so does their affection. Samantha fought for the house, the cars, the money. She fought like a cornered animal, but she lost. Piece by piece, everything slipped away. When the dust settled, she walked away with nothing more than her clothes and her jewelry. Ryan disappeared soon after. Turns out he wasn't interested in a broke ex-wife. I, on the other hand, rebuilt. Slowly, quietly, with my dignity intact. Some say revenge is loud. Mine was silent, and sometimes silence destroys more than any scream ever could. If this story touched you, remember this. True love isn't bought, and loyalty can't be faked. Share this story, leave your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe, because sometimes the strongest kind of revenge is the life you rebuild after betrayal.